Welcome, welcome. I so appreciate the connection. Are you growing your accounting firm? Then what you want to do is this first. And I'm going to share that tip with you during this particular training. But when you think of growing your firm, do you prefer random growth where you add on services as clients request them, and that's how you've been moving forward with your firm? Or do you opt for strategic growth, where you're really clear about what it is you have to offer and it fits into the big picture and it's part of your plan? I see that as being the difference between the sleek racehorse and the camel. So when you think about it, strategic growth is like the racehorse and random growth is more like the camel. And this means that when you're looking to have the racehorse, strategic growth, you have clarity about your dream firm. It is growing your firm on your terms, not somebody else's. This means that your ideals don't get hijacked by somebody else's opinion as to how you ought to grow your firm, what you ought to be doing, how you ought to be doing it. You are doing it on your terms, not someone else's. There's no second guessing that goes on here. So what are some of the components you need when you're looking to really have strategic growth, where you want to grow it in a way that it supports your lifestyle instead of what somebody else's ideas are that maybe never even had a business, but they love telling you what to do? So this is what you want to think about is first, you want to get that big picture of what it is that you want to do. That's like the crossing the finish line at the races. Okay, so you want to figure out what is the finish line and what does it look like at this point with where you are now. And then what you want to do next is figure out what are the milestones that you want to hit. Those are like the little mile markers across the race course. And the reason that you want to have milestones is because it creates a guide as to whether you're working and actually aligned with moving towards that specific destination, crossing that finish line, or whether maybe you veered off course and need to course correct again. But this is what happens when you have really solid milestones, is that you have ones that actually emphasize your firm's strengths. Instead of doing everything on a whim that anybody asks you to do or somebody else made a suggestion, and you're afraid that if you don't do that, then you're going to be missing out on something, you really understand the strengths of your firm. And by really focusing on what you excel at and your firm excels at, then it starts to actually differentiate your firm from others. So the first thing is understand your strengths. And then number two is really how to improve culture, whether you are a solo business owner or you have a team. But if you have ideas to what your values are, what you stand for, why you're doing this work and why it's meaningful, and you're able to get other people on board with your idea, whether it's people on your team, when you're talking about your firm and what you offer, or your clients that you're looking into enroll into your services, when you are really clear about your culture, then it actually is an essential part of the solution. And then the third thing you want to look at is really fine-tuning what is going to be effective, not efficient. I've talked about that in a previous video. You want to focus on what is going to be effective and gets results. And these are things that actually can be a process, a system. You do it really, really well. It leads to a particular result. It's pretty predictable. And as a result of it, it actually enhances the client experience. So those are some of the things you want to think about when you're considering milestones as you're looking at what is that finish line for you that you want to cross, is understanding your strengths, the culture that you have, and also what is effective that gets results. So are you looking for the racehorse? Then these are some of the things that you want to have as your milestones that will really start to move the needle forward with you, with your firm, and have you successfully cross the finish line. The very first thing is those high value clients. You want to really understand what it is about those high value clients that they really are attracted to you. They appreciate working with you. That's important to them, and how you can continue to nurture those high value clients. That's the real important thing is that you want clients, but you want great clients that respect you, that really see the value of working with you. And what you want to think about is what's important to them and how to raise the bar. So think of those high value clients and what they care about. And the other thing to know is as you are really nurturing those high value clients, recognize that they know other people just like them. They have a network also. And if you delight them, then they are going to tell others about who you are, what you do, and happily refer their connections to you. So high value clients are really essential. And then the next thing you want to do, number 2, as far as one of those milestones, is get connected, because I don't want you to remain a best kept secret. When you remain a best kept secret, that means you do something really awesome and nobody knows about it. We need to let other people know that you exist, who you are, what you do, and why it matters. So think about how to be able to develop your connections either in person or virtually, and realize that this might mean getting involved with a group of like-minded people. When you do that, it is a fantastic way to get known, expand your reach, and if you're an introvert, this works for you too. So I understand you might not be the most outgoing person. You get all tongue-tied, you get a heartbeat, it's draining. Even if you're an introvert, networking, getting out there, getting known can work for you also. It just works a little bit differently. You have to be a little bit more strategic about it. But I want to say, when you get out there and you get known, whether it's in person or virtually, some of these connections will become clients, but the best connections view you as a trusted referral source, and they are actually connecting people to you. So yes, networking has 2 purposes. One is that you will get some clients directly from the people that you're networking with, but the even better part is when you become a trusted referral source to others and they start referring people to you. Okay, so we have 2 things. Let's go with number 3, which is increase profits, because money's important. You need money in order to be operational, to run your business, to have it support your lifestyle instead of draining the life out of you. And if you want strategic growth instead of random growth, you want to periodically review what are the things that you're doing and what's working, what's not working. That's because we all know some things are more profitable than others. And this includes people, places, and processes. All 3 of those things are something you want to consider when you're looking to raise the bar and increase your profits. So maybe there's people who are a drain, or people who are absolutely someone you want to be aligned with. So think about that. It could be a referral source, it could be a team member, it could be potential clients or current clients. Places are where you're hanging out, who you're being found with, how do people find you? So that could be virtual or in person. And then the processes are the things you're doing. There are some services you offer that are just a drag. They don't work, they're not aligned, you don't enjoy doing them, they don't have a high profit margin, whatever it might be, but there's some processes that are a drag, and then there are others which are very, very highly profitable. So when you are looking at ways to increase your profits, review those people, places, and processes, and identify which are the things that are really spot on with you reaching the finish line and crossing that finish line successfully, and the ones that drag you back and just kind of weigh you down. So as you're doing that, you want to focus on what's aligned with your firm, and you want to cut loose. Yes, you want to cut loose the things which drag you down. So once again, people, places, and processes. Focus more on what's aligned and its strength, and cut loose those things that create drag. And by doing this, you avoid settling for a camel instead of a racehorse. You can then successfully cross the finish line and win. So there's 3 months to go to wrap up Q4. If you are looking to jumpstart 2023, let me know. I have a free resource for you so you can start to think about it, get it dialed in, and really have that sweet racehorse instead of the camel. So if you want to make 2023 your best year ever, then let me know below. and I will go ahead and share my free resource with you so you can, once again, have that racehorse and not a camel. Lauren Fogelman, showing accounting professionals how to double their income, working half the time.